First is today's cue card. Describe a holiday in your country. When it is, where it takes place, what people do on this occasion, and how important it is to you and your community. Hello, I'm Ivy from SpeakPro. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to describe a holiday. And as usual, I'm going to provide you with topic-related vocabulary. However, there's no model answer in this lesson. Instead, I will show you the ideas to answer different guiding questions, each of them one by one. What's more, there will be linking phrases that will help you to put your ideas and the vocabulary together in sentences to make sure that you make beautiful and correct sentences. Now let's get started. Question 1. When it is. To answer this question, you mention the dates and the frequency. How often the holiday is celebrated. Use on and ordinal numbers when you talk about dates. If you don't want to use the verb take place too often, you can replace it with be celebrated or fall. For example, you say, New Year's Day falls on the 1st of January. To talk about frequency, use one of the following phrases and adverbs. Be careful with the last two adverbs. Twice a year, biannually, annu. Once every 2 years, biennially, any. If you're unsure, then use twice a year and once every 2 years instead. Question 2. Where the holiday takes place. We talk about the scale, whether it's a regional or local holiday or it's a national holiday. Now, be careful when you pronounce the word nation and national. The vowels are different. Nation, but national. If you choose to talk about a regional or local holiday or festival, then you may want to be more specific about which city or province in particular the holiday or festival takes place in. It may be a coastal city or it's an area in the highlands. So give some general information about that particular area. Practice time. As you can see, we have a table that shows 3 different holidays and festivals and extra information about them. Now, what I want you to do is to pause the video for a while and try to make sentences on your own. You don't have to mention all of this information in one sentence only. You may make 2 different sentences. That's fine. Okay, let's pause the video and practice. Okay then, you may want to listen to my sample sentences before you move on. 1. The Lunar New Year takes place on the first day of the first lunar month. Notice that we're talking about ngày in Vietnamese. So you cannot say January. You have to say the first lunar month. 2. Christmas Day falls on the 25th of December. And although it's commonly known as a religious holiday for Catholics, nowadays it's also celebrated by non-Catholics in major cities like Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. 3. The La Flower Festival takes place around late December or early January, biannually, once every 2 years. And although it's a local festival, it attracts a lot of people from different parts of Vietnam and even foreign tourists. Question 3. What people do on this occasion. There are a lot of ideas here, so we have to be selective. And in order to help you organize your ideas better, I've classified the ideas into 3 main categories. The first one is entertainment. You may choose to talk about 2 or even 3 of the following subcategories: food, music, traveling, and others. A celebratory feast is a good phrase. You say something is a must-eat, like mooncakes are a must-eat at the Mid-Autumn Festival. To get away from it all is one of my favorite idioms. That means to travel. And finally, the festive atmosphere, the joyful and energetic atmosphere on a holiday or at a festival. Festive atmosphere. The next category I want to introduce to you is ceremonies. Things that people have to do because they are traditions. parade is a verb and a noun. You can say there's a parade on that day, or people parade to the main square. Children parade around the neighborhood. We have to offer incense to somebody. Incense is an uncountable noun with a stress on the first syllable. Next, to make offerings to somebody. And finally, to make a speech. There are common ceremonies at a festival or on a holiday, especially a national one. If you still have time, then you may want to talk about how people decorate the houses or the streets in celebration of a holiday. In particular, you may want to say, they decorate the houses with flowers, or the streets are illuminated with strings of colored lights, and flags are hung out. To keep the ideas well organized, we should have something like a topic sentence or an introductory sentence. For example, in this case, I want to talk about ceremonies as the first main point, the first main category. So I will say something like this. Special ceremonies are conducted on this occasion. Then I go into detail. I may want to mention just two ceremonies so I can save time for the next main point. In celebration of this holiday, it's customary to hang out flags, for example. Besides, there are various entertainments to choose from. This is how I introduced my next main point. Then once again, I go into detail with two particular forms of entertainment. Most people do something and others choose something else. Question 4. How important the holiday is to you and your community. No matter what holiday or festival or celebration you choose to talk about, remember that it always brings relaxation. So this will be the first important role that you want to mention. In particular, let's say people have more me time. Instead of free time, you say me time. It's a good phrase. To pursue their personal interest, to relax or let their hair down. To recharge their batteries, remember to use the plural form of batteries in this phrase. And finally, to maintain a work-life balance. Next, because people have some free time, some time off, especially to spend with the people they love, like friends and family, they can improve their relationships with them. You can say people have a family reunion. They spend quality time with their loved ones, and as a result, they can strengthen the bond, meaning improving the relationship with those people. Last but not least, cultural meanings. This is especially important when you talk about a national holiday. To commemorate, to honor. Now be careful, honor is pronounced with the silent H. Honor. To maintain a long-standing tradition. Now, let's practice putting your ideas together in a well-organized way, once again. Remember, first we said something in general, like the holiday is meaningful, important, significant to us. And then you explain the meanings one by one. And I recommend only two. Two important roles of the holiday will be enough. First, it gives us some time off to do something. You don't want to be so detailed here, because if you do that, you're going to repeat what you said in question number 3, and you will lose your fluency and coherence score for that, and you will waste your time too. And then you move on to the cultural meanings. I highly recommend talking about the cultural value or meaning of a holiday, especially when it's a public holiday, a national holiday. For example, you can say, additionally, the holiday is of cultural value to us because it encourages us to maintain a long-standing tradition of patriotism, for example. I hope that now you can describe a holiday in your country with a lot more ease. If you want to listen to my complete model answer to this topic, then click on the link here. After you've done this, I highly recommend that you try using the ideas and the new vocabulary that you've learned in this lesson to handle a similar topic, which is to describe a holiday that you had recently. When you handle this topic, be careful with the tenses. The main tense here is obviously the past simple tense. Be careful with your grammar. That's it for today. Thank you for your attention. Make sure that you practice hard enough. Okay, see you in the next video, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and more importantly, subscribe to Speak Pro YouTube channel so you can stay up to date with the latest lessons from us. Bye!